So we need to start with the obvious. We can't host a session like this without addressing the COVID-19 pandemic and the impact that it has had on our business, never mind our personal lives. McKinsey & Company, a research firm based in the US, reports 10 years of e-commerce adoption or growth occurred in the period of time April to June 2020, in 3 months. The Microsoft CEO, Satya Nadella, he reports that Microsoft witnessed 2 years of digital transformation inside of 2 months, beginning in April 2020. And I'm sure that we can all speak to countless business models that suffered kind of near catastrophic disruption, leading to new processes like curbside pickup, contactless deliveries, home-based exercise networks that have grown tremendously, things that we never would have contemplated in 2019. The report I'd like to key in on, Bobby Cameron from Forrester Research, he early on recognized 3 modes of response to the pandemic. You see them on the screen. They were survival mode, adaptive mode, and growth mode. Survival mode was if a business experienced a critical drop in demand, forcing that organization to take a really in-depth look at the cash forecast versus what they saw as the revenue decline, and imposing an urgent need to plan how to maintain their operations. Adaptive mode was more so disruptive in the ways that they would deliver customer service. They had to move from their current model to a virtual model, or how to manage work from home teams that would divert what their intended investment in growth plans were to sustain. How are they going to maintain operations in a different process? Growth mode. Some companies actually experienced a rise in demand for their products and services. Think PPE, or manufacturers that retrofitted a production line to produce PPE. So the advice the Forrester report provides from an IT budget perspective, starkly different for each of those modes. Survival mode, we eliminate new spending, we consider temporary layoffs, unfortunately, we examine our service contracts, maybe renegotiate longer terms for lesser fees. In adaptive mode, we accelerate strategic spend, things like shifting to the cloud in favor of renewing or refreshing our old hardware, rationalizing our application stack to just those that truly are necessary, and we defer or delay any large projects. Forrester then advises in growth mode, we economize spend with critical vendors and invest in technology directly supporting those key growth products or services. So we at IT Force, through the summer and to now, we saw examples of all 3 modes within our client base. But the story wasn't as clear-cut, the boundaries weren't as clear. Regardless of the mode, the leaders that we met always stressed the long-term strategic view. So in the difficult case of layoffs, for example, leaders still emphasize strategic technology adoption to accomplish more with less. In the case of a shift to work from home, leaders made 2 decisions. How do I enable operations immediately? What's the quickest route? But then quickly moved to build strategies that ensured these new capabilities were secure, scalable, and made change even if that required changing the initial solution and the investment. If they needed to move to a more flexible posture, a more enterprise type class posture, they did so. Invariably, we heard from our clients a deep and very Canadian concern for their employees and the experience that they were having in their new environment. So what we do know, the pandemic has changed our businesses and our lives for the foreseeable future, and it really exposed any inflexibilities we had through our work processes and workflows. The key trend emerging from this, digital capabilities are critical in 2020. Almost without exception, every company must have a digital posture. The overwhelming majority of firms see technology as a key enabler to business now and in the future, that 83% number. And they also recognize the corresponding need to constantly maintain, refresh, and renew their employees' skill set to take full advantage of these technologies. The message: double down on your digital technology strategy to ensure you have the capabilities and flexibility to navigate your business through our next unexpected disruption.